When you're getting that feeling that something needs to change, but you're not sure what, or even if you know what it is, you're not sure how to get there, sometimes that could be a sign. A reset could help you.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. If you can see it, you can be it. Do you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I want to talk about a juicy topic of how to reset your life without blowing it up. Basically, how to reset your life and actually use it to propel you into something of a productive or just a desirable direction, as opposed to just resetting and blowing everything up and throwing a tantrum on life. Buckle up. So this is based on my own life and what's going on in my life right now. I wanted to try to make a fun video, but also make it useful for other people. So I don't want to just get on here and just talk about my life, or maybe you guys like that, I don't know. But okay, so how to hit the reset on your life, because that is currently what I'm doing right now. Sometimes you just need a reset in your life. It could be for a variety of reasons. It could be something like feeling like you hit a ceiling in your career, or feeling stuck, or feeling like you're meant for something different but you're unsure of the next step. When you're getting that feeling that something needs to change, but you're not sure what, or even if you know what it is, you're not sure how to get there, sometimes that could be a sign. A reset could help you. Just like when you're playing a video game and you get stuck and you can't find your way out, sometimes hitting the reset will help, because it will kind of clear you and zoom out again, maybe back to an earlier place or back to a different reset location. You can tell I don't play a lot of video games. It was just zoom you out of that situation. There we go. Whatever the reason is, here are my tips. So number one, change your environment. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to move. It could be something as easy as cleaning your room, or you could redecorate. I do think that there should be a feeling of reset here. So if you just clean your room, if your room is really messy, listen, the cleaning maybe is all you need. But maybe you could have some fun with it. You could redecorate, you could add a color palette and things that fit more in alignment with the you that you want to be. Now, for a bigger move, it could be moving out of your current living situation, moving to a different city, or even if you're staying in the same city, moving to a different building, something like that. Here is my little news. Number one is that's what I'm about to do. So I'm actually moving cities right now. So as I'm making this video, I've already started packing. I haven't packed everything up yet, as you can see. Still, you can still see my desk, but that's what I'm in the process of doing. And though I do hate the process of moving, in starting to prepare for this, I'm realizing that I'm kind of getting excited about the fresh start. Just the thought of changing my environment, even if it can be cumbersome, there is something else on the other side. There's an opportunity for a fresh start. You can redecorate, or you can just do something different. And in the process of moving, I even am finding things, to donate that have just been sitting around collecting dust that I didn't need. I sold a DJ light that I haven't used in years to a new DJ, right? I put it up on OfferUp, and this person came and they're just getting started in DJing, and they were so excited. So that made me feel really good, because it made me feel like something that's sitting on the shelf, the old me that I no longer need, that I can move away from, that can actually have a new life with somebody else. So not only does it help you kind of clear away the old thoughts, the old habits, but it also might actually add value back. It's like the whole, everything is a cycle. Nothing gets wasted, right? Like, it's like, think about the flow of water. It rains, it goes into the soil, then it evaporates back up, and it goes so on and so on. So sometimes it's really nice to just remind yourself of that cycle. Okay, number two, build a new routine. So this one is my favorite one. I love the idea of routines. I don't say routine as like you should get bored with it and just get stuck in a rut, because that's how we got here in the first place. But having a new routine, something fresh, something exciting, something that calls to you, right? So for me, I've been really enjoying and savoring my mornings, especially when I am making my coffee and I look out and the sun's coming out and I hear the birds chirping. It really makes me actually excited to start the day. Your routine could be waking up and then meditating. I also do meditate as part of my routine, although I do a little later in the morning because I have a dog, so I like to walk him and get out and get some air. But whatever it is for you, building a new routine, especially a morning routine, can really set the tone for the rest of your day and then the vista, I guess, of where you're headed. For me, I'm still working on it because my goal is to get to wake up even earlier, and I know that I'm lacking on that because of the bedtime. I don't always get to bed in time, but even then I'm still enjoying just working towards that goal and having this new routine. A tool I really enjoy to help with this routine, actually I'm going to give you two. One is Streaks. That one is a paid app. I don't remember how much it was, but it's not very much. It was like $3.99 or $4.99, something like that. But it was really worth it. It's really cute. Let's see. So for example, like on the watch has a simplified version of it. But you can see, I don't know if you can see it. So there's like little streaks, like, did you meditate today? Did you wake up before 5? I did not wake up before 5, but you'll just tap to mark every day and you get a little streak. And you can even do like negative streaks. So one of mine is not to check the news because I sometimes compulsively check the news. Okay, so on the watch you can't see the description, but this one is mine for not checking the news, and I haven't checked the news in 32 days. So that's my longest streak yet. I almost checked it today because of all the craziness that's going on, but I didn't. I'm not saying I don't keep up with the news. I still like read the news. I just mean, anyway, this is a tangent. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so number 1 is Streaks. I really like that app. It is paid though. And number 2 is a free app with premium options. That one is called Structured. Shout out to my man who put me onto that one. But you can basically plan your whole day and schedule in everything. So it actually gives you like the hours, like this time to this time. And then it helps you really see, because sometimes we'll make our to-do list and I just like write a whole bunch of shit, and I realized later, like, I was never going to be able to finish all that in a day. But this one actually forces you to structure out, like, how much time I need for each one and see how it fits in. And then you can see the gaps in between. They will say, like, oh, you have an hour of free time. You can do something here. I love those 2 apps. Those have really helped me build a new routine. And most importantly, they really helped me get excited about my routine. A big part of resetting your life is trying to find that spark again. Because a lot of times when we feel like we need a reset, it feels kind of like you've lost the momentum, or you've lost sort of the passion or joy in doing those things. And so finding those little moments to kind of gamify your life or just make it exciting and something to look forward to is really, really helpful. My third tip for how to reset your life is to realign your goals. So you can't hit the reset and not know where you're going, right? What we're looking for here really is like a new direction. Taking the moment to reflect, maybe it's journaling, maybe it's meditating, or a combination of both, to realign your goals really helps. For me, an exercise I love to do every time I get stuck in a rut or just kind of feel like I'm not sure what the next step is to draw a picture of myself and make like the ideal me, like who do I want to be? And then I write all the different qualities around her, and then sort of create this little diagram of like, this is the me that I want to be. Some of those things is things to work towards. Like, for example, if you have financial goals, or you have like goals with relationships or whatever it is. But you'll find that most of those things are things you can start being now. Like, for example, compassionate, caring, calm, a good listener, things like that. Those are things you can just kind of snap into. You can literally check yourself and realize, okay, am I being a good listener? Am I being calm? And step into that version of you. So that's a really cool way to hit reset as well. I also similarly use kind of a similar method in meditation. I like to get into the calm state, and then I will visualize a scene of something that I want to accomplish, like implied that it's already been done. For example, someone congratulating me on winning something, or me holding, a certain amount of money in my hands, or whatever it is that your goal is, to visualize that really short scene and just replay it over and over until it feels real, and then until you feel the feeling of gratitude of having received that. I do also want to say, like, this step is so important because in terms of hitting the reset, sometimes we're just chugging on and we realize we're working towards a goal that we no longer even want. And it could be because we've sort of gotten a little bit diverted and went off track and then didn't realize until now, like, how far off we've gone. It could be that, but it could also be, it could have been a goal of yours in the past and you've just outgrown that goal. That's okay too. For example, in my life, DJing is one of those things. I love to DJ and I love music more specifically. So, and what I love about DJing, I love the technique, I love the history of it, but I didn't set out to create, I should tread carefully here. Let's just say now reevaluating my goals, I feel like I've grown beyond that and there's other goals I want to achieve beyond what I've accomplished in DJing, and I'm still so grateful for everything I've done. But if you know me from before, my original goals were in music and in music creation and singing. So DJing can help that, but in reevaluating my goals, I realized it's okay to acknowledge and be grateful for the other goals you've hit along the way, but realize, like, we can't just stay on this level. We have to expand outwards and maybe realign with our new or our kind of previous goal that we got a little sidetracked from. That one's a little personal for me. It's always really hard for me to admit that because I get a lot of people angry with me because it is such a fun job. But I think a lot of people can understand that even if you work in other sectors such as tech. This has happened to a lot of my friends where they got hired to work at a big tech company, let's say the Apple or Google or something like that, out of college, and it was like their dream job for the first few years, and then eventually they felt like they wanted to leave and start their own company. And it's okay to acknowledge and be grateful for having had that opportunity and also move on and do something different. Realigning your goals really helps you find clarity on what that North Star is, so that you can actually make sure you're taking steps towards what you want, because you are the one that has to live your life, not all the people around you, right? My fourth tip for how to reset your life and not blow it up. This is actually really important for the not blow it up part, is to nurture your relationships. So relationships are so important. Making sure you're pouring into the people around you that matter, right? The people you love, your friends and family, co-workers, colleagues, whatever it is, to really make sure you are creating and sustaining that connection. And why I included this here in a video on how to reset your life, you might think, oh, reset, I should be cutting people off. Well, that may factor into it. So in terms of nurturing your relationships, you also want to evaluate your relationships. If you have like relationships with friends who you feel drained after hanging out with them, you always feel like they're putting you down, it might be time to reevaluate your relationship with them. You can still nurture them, as in maybe realizing, okay, what's best for us is to let them go or be friends from a distance, or maybe you're still friends just spending less time together. Only you can really decide what that is for you. If it's really toxic or if it's abusive, something like that, maybe it's better just to let it go. So that is one aspect of it, but the other side of it is to nurture the existing relationships that you have that are precious to you, that do nurture you, to make sure you are also giving and pouring into those relationships. How that can feel like a reset, even though it's not technically starting over, but you're giving kind of new life and new energy and just pouring into something there. And that is a feedback loop. It basically reinforces and you grow together. Recently, for example, I reached out to some of my old clients and I was able to generate some new working relationships out of those existing ones. So by nurturing your relationships, keeping the connection, that can grow into something new and help you find a reset in that sense. Your friends are also, they reflect back to you yourself, right? They're a good mirror to help you. Sometimes we don't see our own blind spots. I've been holding up a lot and not going out and kind of being antisocial because I haven't always felt the best about myself in these recent months, but I made a point recently to go out to friends when they invited me to their birthdays or to their events. It felt so good to see them and also the other friends in the community. And I realized they gave me new energy just as much as I was bringing energy there. They reflect back to you the good parts of you, maybe that you've forgotten about yourself. By nurturing those relationships, you can actually also help propel yourself and remind yourself of who you are and who you want to be, right? Because your friends will always reflect that back to you. Number 5 is to nurture your body, meaning to get out and move, whether that be going to the gym, taking a walk, going to do yoga, or even just dancing around in your room. Move your body, because that literally physically stimulates new energy, right? And you're moving the energy, and that can be so freeing. I used to dance growing up in high school, in college, and then when I first went to college, I couldn't take dance class all the time yet until I had to take the bus. This is pre-Uber. I would find myself getting almost like depressed. I would find myself getting moody, like just down, when I couldn't dance, because I had gone from like dancing like 20 hours a week to like none. And I realized when I wasn't in dance class, I was craving that movement, but it wasn't just moving my body, it was moving my body to music, to something with emotion and passion and feeling and meaning. Now I've learned to regulate my emotions better, so I don't need to go to dance class. I can self-regulate, but whenever I do dance, or when I just do things like going to the gym or go running, I can feel my body like releasing that energy and finding that flow. Especially with dance, when it comes to good music that it's paired with, especially if it aligns with your emotional state, it's just like, it's like a release. Finding ways to move that can really help reset and help you release that energy so that you don't bottle it up and just let it turn into depression or let it turn into anxiety or whatever it is. My last tip for how to reset your life is to be in the present moment. This one is really, really important, because oftentimes when we feel like we need a reset, it's because we're living in the past or the future. We are not where our feet are. We're not rooted. Living in the past means you're maybe regretting something, or you're just thinking back, things were better back then, I'm so unhappy now, blah, blah, blah. Which I'm not discounting, all that could be true, but we're looking for solutions and reset, right? To move forward. So it's not helpful. You can think about it for a little bit and journal it and then just let it go. And then living in the future is always either worrying, being anxious about, okay, I can't pay my rent, I can't pay my bills, what am I gonna do? Or, I wish I could be here, why am I not here? And you're just comparing yourself perpetually with a future that hasn't even arrived. So that also can be detrimental, because you just then stay stuck and frozen. So staying in the present moment really helps. First of all, it forces you to be grateful, because you look around and you even just every morning I walk my dog. Sometimes I'll wake up with a little anxiety, but as soon as I step outside and he looks up at me with his little cute smile, like, Mom, wanna go on a walk? Yes. He's always so happy. And I see the birds chirping, and I see the crosswalk lady, she says hi to me. I see the leaves, I see the gorgeous trees, everything. You can't help but to be grateful, even if you have nothing, which I'm not saying I do, but literally I have that thought a lot. It's just like, even if I had nothing, like just looking around, like I have so much just to be here and breathe this air and see these beautiful trees. Being in the present moment really helps you reset. And from that present moment, anything can happen, right? So it's really like, it literally feels like a video game reset, because you're taking yourself out of like the rut of the future anxiety or the past nostalgia, and then you're coming back to the present moment. And from here, it's like all possibilities. You can go anywhere. So that is really important. You can also meditate to achieve this. It's really helpful. I try to meditate every day, because it helps me, forces me to get into the present moment. Because as this day goes on, even though we try our best, I don't always stay present, right? As things go on, sometimes I find myself worrying, I'm anxious, or just my mind wanders. But meditation forces you to get into that present moment, at least for 20 minutes or however long you do it for. Another way to stay present is while you're doing activities. Like this is one thing I just started doing this week, is almost like imagining I am in a video game. Like when you play video games, yeah, you do have a goal of winning, but you're like actually enjoying being there because you don't have the stress of feeling like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Because you know that it's just a game. I think sometimes in life we get the stress of like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I just try to like almost imagine I'm playing a video game and just like enjoy the fun of being here, just like being in this world. And that helps me get into the present moment because I'm literally like, everything I see is so amazing. Like, wow, the sky is blue. Oh wow, like the gym is bustling with people working out. Like everything just makes me so happy. I've really been having fun with that, you know, or eating food and like, wow, this tastes so good. Wow, like you have $19 in your bank account, but that's enough to buy Chipotle. Wow, Chipotle is so good. Like instead of thinking of like about the future, what's going to happen, you just think about here now, what you are grateful for. That doesn't mean to be irresponsible, right? You still do need to plan and you need to move forward, and that's taken care of by step number 3. We said to realign your goals, because when you're aligned with your goals, you're going to move in an inspired way towards your goals. So just trust that it's going to happen, but you can still stay in the present moment and enjoy and be grateful while you do it, and enjoy that video game, right, that we're in, because we really are just in a game. We're here to enjoy life. So I hope you guys enjoyed my tips. Let me know down in the comments if you feel like you need a reset and which one of these tips you're most excited to try out. Till next time, I shall see you guys later. Bye.